It was days after the first U.S. attack on a ship from the country, which Trump said was transporting drug traffickers. In a letter to Trump, Maduro rejected the United States' claims that Venezuela played a major role in drug trafficking, noting that only 5% of the drugs produced in Colombia are sent through Venezuela, of which he said 70% were neutralized and destroyed by Venezuelan authorities. Here's an excerpt from the letter, quote, "President, I hope that together we can defeat the falsehoods that have stained our relationship, which should be historic and peaceful. These and other issues will always be open for a direct and frank conversation with your special envoy, Richard Grenell, to overcome media noise and fake news." End quote. 10:09 to 10:28. Maduro said, quote, "This is the most blatant example of disinformation against our nation, with the intent to justify an escalation into armed conflict that would inflict catastrophic damage across the continent." End quote. Well, folks, the Trump administration seems divided on Venezuela, right? With Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Secretary of Defense Pete Herzog leading the pressure campaign against Maduro. Meanwhile, Granholm, who served as acting director of national intelligence during Trump's first term, and a few others, are pushing diplomacy. Henry Zimmer, an associate fellow at the Center for Strategic and International Studies, said that Trump had a clear aversion to getting involved in wars, but more targeted attacks were likely. Here's what he said, quote, "I don't think Trump wants a war, and Maduro certainly doesn't want a war. But the more assets you place in the region, the more chances there are for miscalculation. The risk is that we end up in a position where both Maduro and Trump feel they can't back down." End quote. Well, folks, I don't know about you, but I think the last thing we want is a war right next to our border, right?